it was far from crickets in Pittsburgh yesterday as the fan base was clamoring for rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett. They got what they wanted, and it looked like it was going to win. Kenny Pickett became the first quarterback in the entire 103-season history of the National Football League to score 2 rushing touchdowns in his debut, another very obscure and specific stat courtesy of the NFL that they circulate on Sunday night after the game's end. But they were up 10 points. They were down. They get the turnover deep in the Jets' end of the field. They score the touchdown. They go up. Then they're up by 10 points. And it's like, here we go. We don't know what's going to happen against the Bills, Bucks, Dolphins, and Eagles, but at least we're up 10 points in the fourth quarter against the Jets. This is a win. Kenny Pickett debut, storybook finish. He's our quarterback. And then it all falls apart for the Steelers. Thanks to the Jets. The Jets have shown a level of grit and toughness and resilience. They've been in this 4-game tour of the AFC North where they pulled a rabbit out of the hat twice in Cleveland and now in Pittsburgh. Down 10 points in the fourth quarter in Pittsburgh on a day like that yesterday. To find a way to turn it around and make it go in their direction. Unbelievable. I still don't know how they did it, Myles.
I don't really either. Whenever you see Pittsburgh up 10 in the fourth quarter at home and you got the crowd, and I'm sure they played Renegade, and I'm sure they're waving those towels, and Kenny Pickett scoring 2 touchdowns, and the Yinzers, I'm sure, were elated. You just do not expect to see the Steelers blow a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. You don't. And so when they do, I think it says a lot about the Jets. Maybe we need to give Robert Saleh a little bit more credit. He said he would keep all the receipts. Man, you know what? I am tipping my cap off to him, because to go 2-2 in the early going of the season and really pull that rabbit out of their rear ends in 2 games, away games at that, I think that says a lot about that team.
You mentioned the playing of Renegade. They did an analytical study as to the Steelers' win and loss percentage when they do the Renegade thing, because they don't do it every game. And they actually do win far more than they lose when they play Renegade in the fourth quarter. The problem is they were up 10 early in the fourth quarter. I don't know that there was a good Renegade moment.
That's true.
Because the win was in the bag. The win was in the bag. Maybe they need to be ready to press that button as it's all falling apart, which it rarely does for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's Zach Wilson in his first action after suffering a knee injury in the preseason opener. He's back. He's healthy. He's effective. He gets the win. Here he is talking about the Jets' victory.
The ugly win, but, some of the most fun I've had playing football, the emotions, ups and downs, the trying to overcome adversity. I just thought such a cool fight by the guys. The defense getting takeovers, taking the ball over for us, to come back on offense, giving us, some extra opportunities. The O-line fighting all the way to the end, guys in different positions, needing to come up big for us, and they did an amazing job making me feel comfortable back there. And, I'd say it's awesome to learn from a win, but I think there was so much growth in just those last 2 minutes as an offense for us, to be able to put a drive like that together as clean as it was and punch it in, was awesome.
I always love it when guy shows up for press conference after the game still in his pads, because that tells me he doesn't want to take them off. He doesn't want the moment to end. And when the uniform is dirty on top of it, that makes it even better, because that football being played on grass, and hey, that field held up better than I thought it would after all the rain that they got in Pittsburgh, and they played Georgia Tech Pittsburgh the night before. Field looked good, but that's October, that's grass, and that's Zach Wilson giving the Jets reason to be very hopeful about what they have going forward. Their schedule, we've talked about this many times. I don't know who they pissed off at the league office 2-3 years in a row now. Their schedule is crippling right out of the gates. They had all 4 teams of the AFC North to start the season. They managed to win 2 of those games, both on the road. It gets no easier, but I'm not ready to write this team off. They got something. They're not the team that's going to walk off the bus and kick your ass, but if you let them hang around, you do so at your own peril, because they'll make you pay for it. And I look at the next 5, and I don't feel as concerned for the Jets as I did before the season began. I think they could give the Dolphins a little run for their money. especially if Miami doesn't have Tua Tagovailoa. They could give the Broncos a run for their money. I think they can beat the Patriots. I don't know what happens with the Bills, but then they have their bye, and look, they got some wins back half of the season. They can hang around. They can make it interesting. They could still lay the foundation this year to be a contender next year, and they have a chance of being a fringe contender this year, Myles.
Well, here's the thing. Whenever you're going against a team in the division that you know pretty well, and granted, there have been some changes with the Dolphins, especially offensively, but that's a chance for you to be able to kind of steal one. You see that all the time. The division games can get a little bit wonky. So I don't necessarily count the Jets out of anything. Zach Wilson made some real quality throws late in that game. I mean, especially to Corey Davis. And so their chemistry seems like it's starting to get that much better. And you know what? I don't necessarily know where things are going to end up with the Jets, but I feel better about them certainly after the first quarter of the season than I would have if when we was thinking about what they might look like before the season started.
The Pittsburgh Steelers finally look like what we thought they were going to be before the season, a team quarterbacked by Kenny Pickett, and also many thought they were going to be not good. I was wrong. I thought they'd be better. They're now 1-3. They're staring at 1-7 with this pack of games they have coming up against the Bills, the Bucks, the Dolphins, and the Eagles, going into a bye at 1-7. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record. This may be the year that it happens. He's allowed to have one after 15 years on the job. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.